missed your chance, right? Because this is saying there is no pregnancy. And this is the menstrual flow, the removal of the uterine lining so it can thicken again. And it becomes the most receptive. If you notice right here, menses day 1 through 7, right? 5 to 7 days of menstrual flow. Thinnest lining of the uterus at that point. Then it starts to thicken. Well, what's making it thicken? Look at this. Estrogen. As estrogen levels rise, what happens to the thickening of the uterus? Getting thicker. Right? The lining's getting thicker. And estrogen levels peak about the same time LH levels peak. And when LH levels peak, what do you get? Ovulation. Now, estrogen levels are going to fall, but progesterone levels are going to rise. Why do progesterone levels rise at ovulation? Because this secretes progesterone. The old follicle makes progesterone. Now, what does progesterone do? Let's look at it. Progesterone starts to increase, and that causes some subtle thickening in the uterus, but it makes it incredibly vascular. And what I mean by that is, there are so many capillaries present in the endometrium, and there are all of these little pits, uterine glands, if you will, that form. Now, why do you want to have little pits in the lining of the uterus? And why do you want to have a whole bunch of capillaries at about day 21? Implantation, right? We've got to form a placenta. We need a lot of maternal capillaries. We want the fertilized egg to get stuck in the lining, so we want the lining to have all these pits in it, right? So we see this increase in all of these uterine glands and a whole bunch of capillaries, and that is it at its densest in capillaries and pits at about day 21. And coincidentally, if you ovulated at day 14 and you had fertilization at day 21, guess what? A fertilized egg is going to be coming by the uterus, and it's going to get stuck in there, and we'll have a pregnancy. If you have a pregnancy and you form a placenta, the placenta will secrete progesterone as long as there's a placenta, and progesterone levels will stay high. And progesterone turns off LH and FSH. So if progesterone levels are really high, you can never get an LH surge. And if you never get an LH surge, guess what? You never get ovulation again. Because it wouldn't make sense for a female, she can't maintain a pregnancy at 2 different stages, right? So it doesn't make sense to ovulate while... And also, one of the birth control pills is a progesterone pill only, right? That's called the mini pill. It's just progesterone only. It keeps a female's progesterone levels really high. So what's it prevent? LH surge. If you prevent an LH surge, what do you prevent? Ovulation and pregnancy. Yeah.